today we are going to be working on posture and flexibility. So you're going to need a mat because we are going to go to the floor. I have a chair for assist and I have a small hand towel. So if you need to pause this video, go ahead and give it a pause. Grab these couple things. Now I will tell you, I'm really going to encourage you to get on the floor here. If you absolutely cannot get on the floor because you have a prior surgery or there's a reason, I will do some modifications in the chair, but I'm really going to try to encourage you to get on the floor if you can. So we're going to start with facing the back of our chair. We're going to take a big step back with the left leg, and we're going to raise our hands to the sky. Hands back to the chair, bring it back to center. Step back with the right leg, hands to the sky, hold for just a second, and step it forward. So we're going to alternate left and right legs, hands to the sky, hold for maybe 2 to 3 seconds, and we're going to move through this for about a minute or two. So let's start, left leg back, big stretch, hands up, and back to center. And just keep alternating legs, lifting your hands up as high as you can to the sky, and stepping back up. I really want you to focus on pushing that pelvis under, feeling that stretch in that back leg, those hip flexors. We do so much sitting through the day that these hip flexors in the front of our leg get really tight. And it's okay if you give me just a little tiny back bend. I am perfectly fine with that. And then we're going to start moving our eyes with our hands. So now we're going to start looking towards the ceiling. Couple more here. All right, great job everyone. We're going to move to the floor. If you need to pull the chair close to you, you can use the chair for assist to get to the floor, but really try to get on the floor. If you need some extra pillows or cushion for under your knees, that's fine. So we're going to work on bird dogs, which we've all done a million times before. So we're going to pull our tummy in nice and tight. We're going to lift our right arm and our left leg, hold for just a few moments, and bring it back down. And switch to the other side, tummy tight. If you need a modification, you can put your hands on the chair and modify with your hands on the chair. Squeezing that glute, straightening that back leg, trying not to do a whole lot of lifting that hip. You're going to tip over just like I did. So keep those eyes gazing at the top of your mat. Great job. Okay, so this next one's going to be a little difficult, especially if you have really forward rolled shoulders. But that's okay, do the best that you can. If you cannot do it all the way on the ground, I will give you a modification once we start the exercise. So we're going to lie all the way down onto our stomachs. I have this towel here, and I have it rolled up to just place my forehead on it. So I'm going to place my forehead here. Arms are going to go out to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now, if you cannot lift your hands off the ground here, just engage the muscles as if you're going to lift them off the ground. So just engage, even if you get a centimeter off the ground and lower. You just keep engaging those muscles, even if there's no motion happening. So keep that going. If you happen to be in your chair, what I'm gonna have you do is sit here, tummy tight, leaning forward, hands to the knees, and you're going to squeeze back and lower. So if you have to modify, this is where we'll be, okay? But for everybody else, keep that going. Again, even if you're just engaging that core, squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. Great job, keep that going. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring those forearms underneath of your shoulders. So your elbows are going to be directly under your shoulders. Press into the floor and come up into what's called a Sphinx pose. And we're just going to hold this extension. So I want you to not kind of sink down into your shoulders. Really press away from the floor. Your neck is elongated. Your eyes are focused forward. Pull your tummy in to protect that spine. The pelvis and the legs are against the floor. If you happen to be in the chair, I will hop up. Just keep breathing through that. You can press into your knees and look up towards the ceiling. If you happen to be seated in a chair. All right, and bring it down. So now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you reach towards your ankle if you can. And again, the towel is here for your forehead. And see if you can just relax into this stretch. Now, if you cannot reach your ankle, this is a great time to have a towel or a strap that you can wrap around your foot and pull it. If this is a no-go for you, that's fine. Just lay there in your cobra position or your Sphinx position we were just doing. Nice breath in and out. Try to smooth that breath. And release. All right, we're going to move to the other side. Again, if you need to wrap a strap around your foot or your ankle and give the strap a hold, that's perfectly fine too. So I'm going to grab a hold of the other ankle or the top of my shoe here. That seems to be more convenient. And just relax and hold. Just notice your breath and try to make that breath nice and smooth. You might feel some stretching in the front of that leg. That's where we want to feel it. You should not have any overpressure in your back. See if you can breathe and release those glute muscles. And release. Great job. We're going to go ahead and move to the seated position. So roll into your side, press yourself up to the seated position, and if you're in the chair, wonderful. We're just going to grab our hands behind our back and open up our chest. Nice and big. So I have my hands clasped behind my back. If you can't reach your hands, that's what the towel is for. Take the towel and roll it into a nice long roll and grab a hold of the towel and just hold on to the ends of the towel. We're just holding our arms behind us. Couple breaths here. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up. Shoulders down and back. And release. All right, we're moving along. We're gonna lie our backs on the floor. So our backs are gonna go on our floor. If you have osteoporosis, come down on your side and then roll over onto your back, just to protect that spine. So what we're gonna do here for the next couple minutes is we're gonna focus on our posture. So we're gonna pull that belly button into the spine, nice neutral spine and our low back. There shouldn't be a big arch here. You shouldn't be able to put your whole hand. Just a nice neutral. So belly button in. We're gonna do what's called a pelvic tilt. So I'm just gonna tilt it forward, squeeze the glutes, and release. So I'm gonna exaggerate this so you can see what I'm doing. If you happen to be sitting in the chair, you can roll your pelvis while seated in the chair. The pelvis under and release. We're just going to do a couple more of these. This feels really nice on the low back. All right, let's pull one knee into the chest and stretch your left knee out. So what I'm doing here is I'm really stretching this hip flexor. So right knee to the chest. This is light. You're only holding this lightly. If this is not working for you, you can put your foot down on the floor. And just really reach that left leg, make that foot active, press your heel forward, and try to stretch your whole leg onto the ground. Now be very mindful of what's happening in your low back right now. Make sure your low back is not rolling up off the mat. Pull that belly button in. Keep that low back against the floor. And then slowly release that foot, sliding it back, and switch. Again, grabbing a hold of the opposite leg, so I'm holding onto my left leg gently, and pressing my right foot forward, really pressing it down, trying to get that full leg to touch the ground. Obviously, belly button tight, keeping that low back tight against the mat. Really pressing into it. Great job. Slide that foot back. And tummy nice and tight over. We're going to inhale, arms up, and drop them overhead, and bring them back up to neutral. So thumbs towards the floor, and back to neutral. What I want you to pay attention here, what's happening in that low back. Is your low back curling up off of the floor to get your hands up? If that's the case, pull that tummy in nice and tight and only raise your arms as far as you can without lifting your low back up. If you're not on the floor, this is a great move you can do with your back against a wall, keeping that nice pelvic tilt. Keeping that spine nice and neutral against the wall, and then raising your hands overhead. All right, keep that going for just a few more seconds, and raise yourself up. Thank you so much for joining us today for our posture flexibility, and we'll see you soon.